Hello, I want to show you how to record a soundtrack or a sound bit from YouTube using Audacity. So, in order to record from within the computer sound card, we need to set up some properties. We're going to go to the control panel, so I'm going to click the start menu and I'm going to start typing control. It pops up in the search panel. You're going to go to hardware and sound and then click the sound part, and then a dialog box opens and we're going to go, we actually need to be looking at the recording choices. Right now it's recording from the internal microphone and we can't see the thing we need because it's disabled. So we're going to right click to show disabled devices. Then stereo mix shows up and that's what we want to record from, so I need to enable it. So again, I right click, I can enable it, and it automatically sets it as my default. So I should be fine there. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to leave this panel open in case I run into a problem. Now I'm going to launch Audacity. So I'm going to click the start menu again and start typing Audacity. And it pops up in the search bar and I can launch it. It should be on your computers automatically. The school puts it as part of its standard install. Okay, from here, we want to choose stereo mix. You want to make sure your mic is not muted, even though it's doing it from the internal thing. I think it will work from here. So let's give it a shot. You definitely want to click record before you go to your YouTube, and you also want to make sure you have a YouTube video or whatever the song or the selection you want to record queued up. So if I click here and then go to YouTube and click, when I come back here,
stand up, turn around, sit down, stand up,
so you want,
sit down,
I need at least 20 seconds.
stand up,
Anyway,
turn
you need to know
around,
how much time you need.
and now, sit down,
And it's okay to do more. You can trip.
turn around, sit down. But then he said you had to do
Okay.
it faster.
So I am going to pause that video because it's kind of annoying. And you can see I have a 32-second clip, and you can tell it works because you can see the sound waves. If I click play here, I have all this dead space. I'm going to show you how to delete that in a second.
Stand up,
And I got the clip I wanted to. Okay, so I'm going to click stop. By the way, if you can't, if all of these look depressed, it's because, or like you can't click them, it could be because you clicked pause. Once you click pause, you don't really have access to these other buttons. So be aware if these buttons don't seem to be cooperating, double check that pause has not been selected. Okay, so easy to do. Watch this. This whole flat line I don't want, so I'm going to position my mouse about here. Highlight all that by dragging and hit delete on your keyboard. So what we have right now is a sound file. If I were to save this, and I'm going to in case I need to get back to it, I'm going to save the project. And we're just gonna call this stand up song. It's gonna save in my Audacity folder. Obviously you can change that if you want. Now this is not the file that's going to work in Unity because it's not a song file. It's a project file, which means that I could come back and edit this. If I wanted to trim off the end of the song, or if I wanted to do fade in, fade out, I could. But it will not work in Unity. For it to work in Unity, you got to export it. So let's go to File, Export. Export audio. Now, there's a lot of different formats. WAV is really common, MP3 is really common, but I want you to choose OGG Vorbis. It's a pretty good quality sound file. Compressed file. So the compression is similar to MP3. The quality is actually a little better, and more importantly, it's a file that Unity accepts. So I'm going to switch. You can see that I had gone. I would go to where your Unity projects are. So I'm going to go to, where is documents? There's documents. And I'm going to go to my Unity projects. And the example I'm going to use it with, let me go to date modified. I'm going to use it with this one, walksit test. And then I'll open the file. And I'm going to put it in assets. You can see there's already a sound there, but I'm going to use the stand-up song. So let's click save. You can just go with all the defaults in this part. And now if I were to open that file, you can see there's a stand-up song there. Okay, I already have Unity open. And you can see when I went to this, it's updating stuff. So there's the song already. So I'm going to go to my timeline and whoops, there's my test track. Let me delete that. Okay, so this is a shorter one than your one character show. It only has two. It only has two animations, and it has two cameras that it switches back and forth from. So something weird happened to my example with multiple animations, which is why I'm using this one. Anyway, we want to add a track, and we want to add an audio track. So we add the audio track. We can pull this sound and drop it right here. And you can see it's much longer than I need it to be. In fact, I can probably trim it. But I think it's probably better off if you just know your time ahead of time and record accordingly. I believe I can tell it to fade out. Trim start, trim end, split. And this is fun that you could double it or half it to make it look funny. I'm just going to leave it like that for now. Actually, this might be the fade out part. Well, let's just leave it. I'm going to click maximize on play. And you can see when I click play.
Stand up, turn around, sit down. Stand up, sit down.
There, that was well timed. I got lucky on that. So it's pretty cool that it's that easy to add sound. You can see mine wasn't perfectly edited, which is fine. This exercise is just a goal to get you fluent at that whole process of recording, exporting it as an OGG, and dropping it into your timeline. So that's what you'll do this week.